Welcome. Welcome dear students in pharmacology and toxicology session. Myself Mrs. Darshana Sandeep Shinde. Today we deal with the sympatholytic drugs. Sympatholytic, these are inhibit the action of the sympathetic drug. Learning outcomes of our today's session. After watching this video, students are able to understand the pharmacological actions of sympatholytic drug. We see the catecholamine depleter, reserpine, then methyl dopamine, its action, guanethidine and its action. Let's see. First of all, we see what is meant by sympatholytic. Sympatholytic, which block the action of the sympathetic stimulation. All the sympathetic stimulations are blocked by the sympatholytic drugs. Action produced by sympathetic stimulation or exogenously administered catecholamine can be blocked by the drug acting in a various ways. First of all, we see the different ways, and by that how the drug can block the action of sympathetic drug or sympathetic stimulation can be blocked. On the basis of their sympathetic blocking mechanism, these are classified as first class, drug that induce the depletion of catecholamine from various body tissue. That means they deplete the catecholamines. Example of its reserpine. Then the next class is drug which interfere with the synthesis of the adrenergic transmitter either in the neurons or in an adrenal gland. Example of it, methyl dopa. Then the next class is drug which interfere with the transmission of impulse across the postganglionic neuron. Example of it, guanethidine. And fourth class is drug which block the adrenergic receptor without affecting synthesis and or release of the adrenergic neurohumoral transmitter. Example of this class is alpha beta adrenergic receptor blocking agents. These are the mechanisms or these are the classes how they can block the stimulation of sympathetic nerves. First of all, we see the catecholamine depleters. These include the Rauwolfia alkaloid, mainly reserpine. Reserpine deplete the neuronal non-adrenal, hence it is not available for the release by the nerve stimulation. And by this way, reserpine can block the sympathetic action. We see in detail. First of all, it prevents the intracellular uptake from the cytoplasm to the synaptic granule. Thus, catecholamine cannot be stored in the granules and are activated by the cytoplasmic monoamino oxidase. These catecholamines are inhibit or they can't be stored the granules. They can't be stored into the granules and are activated by the cytoplasmic monoamino oxidase. Then reserpine thus reduces the store of the non-adrenaline in the sympathetic neuron and produces the sympatholytic effect. In this way, reserpine reduces the non-adrenaline in a sympathetic neuron and produces the sympathetic effect one. Then reserpine also deplete the non-adrenaline from the brain tissue, which may account for the sedation and tranquility. Then reserpine, the effect of the reserpine is slow in onset and develop the progressively over the several days, may persist for over a week after stopping the treatment also. That's why reserpine is not preferred one. The major therapeutic use of the reserpine is in the treatment of the hypertension, but the side effect limits to its use. Though we know that its side effects, it has a tendency to develop a progressive, slow onset of action, and it develop over several days after we stop the drug. These includes bradycardia, diarrhea, muscle stiffness and depression. These are the side effects of the reserpine. Then mental depression may occasionally result into the development of the suicidal tendency. That's why, though this drug reserpine has a number of advantages to stop the sympathetic action, but it has developed the suicidal tendency. That's why this drug is not preferred. Then the next class is drug interfering with the synthesis of adrenergic transmitter either in the neurons or in the adrenal medulla. First, alpha-methyl dopa is the drug which is responsible for synthesis of adrenergic transmitter in the neuron or adrenal medulla. First of all, alpha-methyl dopa, it was thought that hypotensive effect of alpha-methyl dopa is due to the inhibition of the peripheral dopa decarboxylase, that is the enzyme peripheral dopa decarboxylase. It is probable that it also acts as a substrate for the dopa decarboxylase to form a methyl dopamine and methyl non-adrenaline, which displaces the non-adrenaline from the nerve store. Then the current interpret that the major antihypertensive action of the alpha-methyl dopa is due to the false trans acting centrally to reduce the sympathetic outflow from alpha agonistic or alpha agonic action at the methyl dopa action, which may contribute to its total antihypertensive effect are the sedation and direct peripheral vasodilation. Then methyl dopa also interfere with the synthesis of high hydroxytryptamine, that is also known as the serotonin, by inhibiting the decarboxylation of the 5-hydroxytryptophan, which is probably also due to the dopa decarboxylase. Due to the dopa decarboxylase, this dopamine is interfere with the synthesis of 5-hydroxytryptamine or serotonin. This could lead to a fall in the amount of 5-hydroxytryptamine in the brain, may play a role in the sedative action with the methyl dopa. That's why if we taken the methyl dopa, that person have a little bit sedation action, because this methyl dopa can interfere with the synthesis of high hydroxytryptamine, which is responsible for the sedation action. Other side effects include the depression, dreams, hallucination. Tolerance may become a problem with the methyl dopa is used in the treatment of the hypertension. Then we see the next class, drugs interfering with the transmission of impulse across postganglionic neuron. Example of its gonethidine. First of all, the action of the gonethidine is twofold. First, it reduces the non-adrenaline store in the sympathetic neuron and also interfere with the release of the non-adrenaline by nerve impulses. First of all, it reduces the storage of the non-adrenaline in the sympathetic neuron and also interfering with the release of the non-adrenaline by nerve impulses. That means it acts by two ways. It enters sympathetic nerves by same neuronal uptake pathway as it employed by the noradrenaline. This leads to the reduction in the uptake of the non-adrenaline by the nerves, showing initial sympathomimetic activity, especially on the IV administration. Then, neuronal blocking action of the gonethidine is a intracellular one. Then the first, it prevents the release of the non-adrenaline on the nerve impulses. Then this action is a major action producing the antihypertensive effect. Then the reduction in the transneural noradrenaline store and develop slowly on the prolonged drug administration. Hence, like reserpine, it is fully hypotensive effect, taking several days to develop and may persist for over a week after stopping the treatment. Just like the reserpine, this drug is also have a hypotensive effect after several days, or may have to develop its effect. It takes several days. That's why if a patient stopping to taking the drug, it also shows its effect. Then the gonethidine does not cross blood-brain barrier and hence it has no central action. Then adverse effect. The common adverse effect of gonithidine are due to the parasympathetic overactivity that include increased gastrointestinal motility, leading to the diarrhea, bradycardia, reduction in the cardiac output, resulting in the fluid retention and the edema also. Then this gonithidine sympathetic blocking leads to the interference in the sexual function, failure to the ejaculation. Then we move toward the summary. In this session, we cover what is meant by sympatholytic drug. Then we see the catecholamine depleters like reserpine. Then we see the action of methyl dopa and gonithidine also. Thank you very much for attending this session.